Finally, Juice Media have an honest ad for the United Kingdom. This is going to get my blood boiling. Get ready for some rants.
Hello, I'm from the British government with a message to the nation. As it clings like a desperate turd to the edge of the shitter, our strong and stable hand on the flush. We know many of you are facing uncertainty, like the uncertainty of who the fuck is in charge here during this cost of living crisis.
Yeah, this is mental. Boris Johnson has obviously resigned, but is still the Prime Minister. He's sort of got some sort of resignation period, basically. And now the hunt is on for the next PM. Now, I appreciate that the country does not vote for a Prime Minister, they vote for a party. But really, do people want Liz Truss or Rishi Fishy Sunak in charge? I don't know. It must be a general election. All this crap's going on. Boris is off on holiday. It's a mess.
Now that this sentient ham is no longer PM. Sure, you were probably wondering that when the pissed Merkin was the PM. His main feats being to flout his own COVID laws, hand out lucrative contracts to our donors, and get a shit ton of you killed. But don't worry, soon we'll announce the new PM to assume those crucial roles. Either this stunned mullet who's been specially trained to utter populist wank.
We're producing more varieties of cheese than the French.
Look at that face. She comes out with just stupid nonsense. And that's not the first thing. Bear in mind, this woman, Liz Truss, who is creepy as anything, used to be a Liberal Democrat and is now a Tory. She's backtracked on everything she has said. 1 minute she didn't want the Queen, now she does want the Queen. 1 minute she didn't want Brexit, now she wants Brexit. That is just two of the examples.
Or this harrowing twat who boasts of stealing money from the poor. So both well qualified for the job.
Rishi Sunak, right? He says he needs to make things better. Wasn't he the Chancellor? Wasn't he the Chancellor for 2 years? I'm pretty sure he was. It just stinks like when Boris Johnson first became Prime Minister, forgetting that his government had been in charge for 10 years already, and all of a sudden he was nothing to do with that previous 10 years. Fishy Rishi.
And when we announce the winner, we'd like you all to pretend this is a brand new government, not the exact same one that's fucked you sideways into a full-blown state of social, economic and ecological collapse. Because nothing says a brighter, more secure future than plummeting wages, soaring inflation, poverty, hunger, food banks, a collapsing health system, under-resourced rescue services, cities on fire, dying rivers, drought, crop failures, overflowing sewage, and polio. Tories. With a government like us, who needs terrorists? As things fall apart, we ask you to keep calm and carry on. Being reamed in the arse by the skyrocketing energy prices we've done nothing to protect you from. Remember how during the last energy crisis our pigfucker-in-chief rolled back insulation and renewable schemes? Well, cutting the green crap has added billions to your energy bills. Look, have we made mistakes? Maybe. But have we learned from them? Of course not. That's why, as we face another energy price crisis today, we're once again proposing to roll back green levies and renewable schemes. Sure, that would further increase our dependence on gas, which is what's causing this crisis, but at least it'll distract from how we have absolutely no plan to keep millions of you warm this winter. What might help is taxing these bastards more, or renationalising these ones.
I partly agree and sort of disagree with the whole renationalisation. When you actually look at renationalising companies, these gas companies, for example, it's not as simple as just renationalising, because as a government, you have to buy these companies. Well, that is a lot of money that has just been spent on buying these companies to nationalise them. So I know it's very much a left thing, and I'm centre left, but it's not as straightforward as just nationalising these companies. I really liked Jeremy Corbyn, even if people didn't. I thought he was brilliant. However, when you dig deep down at the policies of nationalising everything, that is a hell of a lot of money. And who pays that money back? The British public. So I appreciate that everyone wants things to be nationalised, but doing it is a difficult thing. We need these big companies, they're making so much money. not necessarily the smaller companies. You know, I'm with a company called Octopus, and I don't think they're making a lot of money. It's the big ones like Shell, the ones that are getting the gas out of the ground, that are charging a hell of a lot. It's a tricky subject, and it's easy just to say nationalise. It's too easy to say that.
But why do that when we can just let you book yourself into your nearest warm bank? British government. You're on your own, dickheads. Whatever you do during this void of leadership, please don't take matters into your own hands. Like going on strike to demand a pay rise in line with inflation. Or joining a union. Get back to work, Amazon slaves.
So many strikes going on. Royal Mail go on strike as well shortly. The trains obviously on strike. Amazon probably going on strike. What I don't like is that both Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss have both said they would ban strikes. But, you know, strikes aren't there to... They're there to make life difficult. Therefore, it's pressing on the government to improve wages and pressing on the companies to improve wages. For example, I think the train workers, they're not asking for the same level of inflation. They just want safer. They want their jobs to be safe. They want slightly more money. You know, it's not about stupid wage rises, I don't think. But strikes are there to cause disruption. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point of striking? You know, it's tough and I feel bad for people, but what can you do?
Civil disobedience scares the shit out of us and is why both assholes vying to be the next PM have promised to ban strikes.
There you go.
Most importantly, do not sign up to this campaign where people are pledging to cancel their direct debit if we let energy prices rise further. Remember that time millions of you refused to pay the poll tax and you brought down this government?
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
We wouldn't want to have that again, would we? Because, you see, your masters have not heard the people's voice for a generation, and it is much, much louder than we care to remember. Now get back to work, Britain. Our tax havens and free ports aren't going to pay for themselves, you pieces of shit. God save the Queen. Authorised by Scott Morrison, Minister for Everything, Everywhere.
Do you know what makes me cross, though? Is, yeah, of course, these Tories are in government. These Tories that don't care about the normal working people. But who voted them in? Who voted them in? Certainly wasn't me. I voted Labour. I can happily say that. You know, the red wall, as they say, was broken. Are these people now complaining about what they're doing when they voted them in the first place? That is one thing I find very difficult. You know, Tories are out for themselves. They're out for their high class people, you know, the 1%, those types of people. And it just makes me cross because who voted them in? All because of Brexit, all because of nationalism, which is awful. I hate nationalism. It's the worst. It is the worst. So that's one thing that makes me really cross. You know, it's not... It's tough. It's tough. I don't think I'll be honest. I don't think I've massively been affected by the rising costs and things like that. I think it's not hit us, but we're not on the poverty line. And possibly if things rise, it may get tougher for us. But at the moment, we're okay. But there are still thousands and thousands and thousands, if not millions of people that are going to be suffering. There are things that this government could have done, and they haven't. They even allowed Ofgem, the governing body, governing people of the energy companies. They've allowed them to raise or decrease prices, the energy cap, every quarter? So basically, we know prices are going to go up, and they've said, yeah, do it that quarter, do it the next quarter, do it the next quarter. So it's going up and up and up and up. Nothing's been done to help people. Nothing's been done to protect people. This is a Tory government that doesn't care, but people voted them in. I'm glad Honest Government Juice Media have decided to do some UK versions. Hopefully they have plenty more. I'm sure they will have plenty to talk about in future months and future years. So they've got plenty of content to go. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to moan about my opinions, feel free. If you want to agree with me, let me know down in the comments. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.